This is the Dark Valley from GMT Games, playing the East Front campaign 1941 to 1945, and this is the situation at the end of August 1942. The main thing that's been going on is foul blow has been raging, and the Germans have made quite a lot of progress. A combination of using two 21st Panzer chits, the Manstein chit, and one move and an attack chit has allowed them to break through. So they've achieved their first objective for our version of Fatal Blow, which is to capture Rostov, but they're still quite away from Stalingrad. Main problem is that the Russians are giving way in front of us, but they're shoring up their flank here, the flank that could potentially be used to attack towards Moscow as they're doing it. German units are starting to outrun their supply as well in certain areas here. Hopefully that will pick up again this time, because they made so much progress. They did outjump their supply, but because it was a fair weather term, they managed to move that Soviet depot quite a distance, which brings the first Panzer back into supply. Now, if we look at the front around Kursk, there's absolutely nothing really going on there. There's a bit of activity north of this river here, which I don't know what the name is. Does it tell you? I can't see. There's a bit of activity around there, but most of it's concentrated in the southern Ukraine, near in the Donbass area. We've got front outside Moscow is static. The problem with that is that the Russians, even though they do get a combat chit, it's very limited. It's the Zhukov chit, and Zhukov's HQ actually got surrounded and destroyed as well. It'll come back as a reinforcement this coming turn. If we look up towards Leningrad, the Germans really stopped making any progress there. That front is solidified at the moment. Now, the Germans' big problem here now is the weather's turning against them. We've got mixed weather here. We do still have the initiative, but it'll be probably one of the last turns we'll have the initiative. It'll go over to the Soviet Union and remain there for large periods of the game. Another thing to remember is as the weather deteriorates, also the German command and control system starts to deteriorate as well, and that's reflected in the chit pull. We no longer get two Panzer HQ chits. We've only got one this turn. Instead of getting move and combat chits, we've lost both of them to be replaced with a move or a combat chit. So you get two of those, but they don't have a choice. You have to take whatever on the front of the chit. Soviet command and control is still pretty poor. They've got Stavka, but they haven't really been able to build up any Stavka reserves at the moment due to the fact that they're trying to contain the German expansion here. You've got that limited Zhukov combat chit, which is pretty much useless. And they've also got a move chit, which will enable them to sort of hopefully shut off any breakthroughs. I think now there's not a great deal of supplies starting to come in. Supplies? What are you on about? Reinforcements. Soviets got a small number of reinforcements coming in here. The Germans for turn 15. They've got just some infantry replacements, so it's another thing. The Germans are finding that as the front gets longer and longer, this is what happened historically, they become more and more stretched. Admittedly, the Soviet Union gets stretched as well, but they got more units, and they'll start getting more and more units as time goes on. In terms of the eliminated box, the Soviets got tons of units knocked out there, but most of them are 1-4 divisional units, which are pretty much chump change when it comes to the game at this stage. They'll get less and less useful as time goes on. The main use would be for them, it will be soaking up step losses. Germans have had quite a lot of losses, but only in their really poor units, the 2-4, 2-4s, 1-2-4s, 1-4s, etc. So I would say Foul Blau is likely to fail. It's a possibility they could reach Stalingrad, but I don't know if that's going to be achievable or not.